When you're calculating the required sound insulation of windows on a dwelling building, multi-story dwelling, it's not just the traffic noise that you have to consider. I'm going to show you here a couple of cases with other types of sound sources that is also very important. Here, for instance, it's a picture from a project I'm working on. It's a quite common solution to have a garage in the basement below the whole dwelling. And in this case, we got the garage ramp. And as you can see in my little picture here, we got vroom vroom cars going down here. Probably not going that fast, but still, this means that it will be an increased noise exposure to the apartments that are nearby. And thus, it might be wise to bump up the sound insulation of these windows, perhaps to... Oops. What happened? Perhaps to like RW plus CTR 38, or perhaps even 42 dB, if you have very strict sound requirements. It also depends on the sound class that you're designing your building to fulfill. But anyway, you might, if you only look at the traffic noise calculation, you will only consider cars that are driving here on the big road. And that one won't reveal the noise from these ones. So they have to be treated separately, and that means there is a risk that you might forget about them. So don't do that. So when you got cars in a ramp like this, take an extra check and see whether you need to bump up the windows a little bit more close to these ones. This is a living room, so it might be a little less sensitive, but here you got a bedroom, so that one is definitely a bit more sensitive. Here's a similar case from another project where you got a garage entry with a ramp. So here we get the traffic noise calculation, but it deals with the cars that are driving here. And you will also get an extra, where did you go? There. Extra traffic going in and out here. So that might also motivate a little bit higher requirements here. And in this case, we also have actually, now we come to a second sound source that you also have to consider, a restaurant here. And that means that they will have activity perhaps in the evening, and perhaps a bit more if they have like people walking here on the street, or if you got outdoor serving and stuff like that. And that means that this apartment here is also extra exposed to noise, not from traffic, but from people in this case. And thus you might also have to consider some extra sound requirements on these two facades from the restaurant up here. So don't forget about that. And let's go back to this. This is actually from another direction, from that first building with the ramp. Here we also have a restaurant down here. And a restaurant means increased noise. So that also will probably result in more walking traffic. People will be walking out here, perhaps up there. So maybe this apartment and this, that's, I'm not sure if this is inside the restaurant or if it's a dwelling, but if it's a dwelling, it should have perhaps, no, you know what, this is actually, I can see it here, it's a different level on the plate. So this is the dwelling over here, and this is the premise. So these ones might need a little bit extra. You might also have people coming in here, and that, this, what's it called? Porttelefon, the one that you call and beep, 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 beep. Hey, can you please let me in? So that'll produce sound pressure here. So that might be a reason to pull this one up a bit, make it a bit better. And also I would consider these windows up here. They might be a little bit more noise exposed because they might have some outdoor serving and a lot of people moving about, talking, having fun. And here comes the acoustic fun police. No, but it's not fun if you have to listen to something that you don't want to listen to. So consider these windows, whether they need extra sound insulation. Because in this case, if we only consider car and traffic noise from the road, it wasn't that big problem. The levels were quite low. But this might motivate a little bit of extra sound insulation. So don't forget about this. If you're an architect, also take an extra look on your project and see if you've got these cases with windows that are exposed to other outside sources, noise sources than just traffic. Regarding this, what's it called? The porttelefon, this one, I have had noise complaint errands with precisely that problem. So it happens. Be careful with those things. And in tonight's video, I'm wearing a gray jacket. And this one is special because it has a very thin lapel. If you look at the different men's jackets, the lapel size can vary quite a lot. And I like this one because it's not that formal. It's just a thin little lapel, and that makes it a really casual jacket, which is great to just carry to the office like this. And even if you're working from home, always remember to dress up, because it will boost your productivity. It's easier to work if you dress nicely. See ya!